Do you sweat? And if so, how much do you sweat? Because that may be a sign if your body needs to detox. Hey, Jason here. And so today, well, before I get into that, let me do my intro correctly. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Joburg, and also you've been seeing me talk about success, what it is, how to get it, in the three areas of life that I focus on: happiness, health, and wealth. And that just shows you if you're up and coming content creator, even I make mistakes after 5 years of doing this. So don't beat yourself up when you're creating content. Have fun with it and just laugh at yourself, yo. And so today I want to talk to you about sweating. And the reason why I want to talk to you about this, if you've seen me around in public, whether it's Joburg, Botswana, or if you know me back from the US or Colombia, you know one thing is that Jason sweats a lot. And I sweat very profusely. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, look like I'm jumping into a pool as much as I sweat. However, most people don't understand what that means when they see me. So a lot of times people are like, yo, you okay? Do you need some shade? Do you need some water? And the thing is, your body is supposed to sweat naturally. So the way I like to look at the human body, these light avatars as I call it, I see them just as a car. Your car has a cooling system. And in that cooling system, the thermostat controls how much coolant goes in when the engine is starting to heat up to keep it cooled down. The same way as for our bodies. The way our body does that with the thermostat is through sweating. And so most people don't actually know they're not sweating, and that is a bad thing. And here's one of the things that actually cause most people not to sweat. And we've been confused through marketing and all of these ad campaigns to think, oh, this is what we're supposed to be looking like. And a lot of times we've been shamed to not be healthy. And I'm gonna explain to you exactly what I mean by that. So one of the biggest reasons most people do not sweat is, I'd say about 90% of the people in the world use anti-perspirant, anti-sweating deodorant. I can't even remember how to say the word now because I ain't using it so long. But in every deodorant that you use over the shelf, and when I say over the shelf, meaning if you, what is it, Right Guard, all those name brands that you sell that's sold in stores, no matter which ones you use, they have ingredients in there to stop you from sweating. And these ingredients are absorbed into your body. The main ingredient that they use is aluminum. Now, most people do not know this. The reason why I was able to figure this out was when I started going to psychic conventions back when I was living in DeSoto. And so I went to a psychic convention, and there was a holistic health practitioner there. And he was like, hey, do you want to see if your body have any heavy metal poisons, or if there's heavy metals that you're more sensitive to? And so we did a little test, and he was a guy way smaller than me, not stronger than me at all. And it was like an arm test. So like he would hold my arm and have to push it down. And so he would give me different heavy metals to hold. And when he got to aluminum, I could not keep my arm up. It was literally him barely using any force, and I could not keep my arm up. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, what is going on here? And then he explained to me, he's like, you probably have a heavy sensitivity to aluminum. So you want to start getting aluminum out of your diet. Now, what I started doing first was I changed all my pots and pans. Because if you use any anti-stick, non-stick, or the coating on it, usually that pan itself or pot is made out of aluminum. So then I started going to stainless steel wrapped pots and then using cast iron pots and pans. And so from that, I started feeling a little bit better, but I went back another month, and then we did it again, and it was still weak. And so I was like, okay, I changed out my pots. I'm like, where am I getting this aluminum from? And then he told me, he was like, you might want to start checking your deodorant. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, sometimes if you're using just a regular over-the-counter deodorant, you may have aluminum in there if you're not buying aluminum free. And so when I looked, and I went back home and I checked, and then I started seeing all of our deodorant that Cece and I were having had aluminum in it. So we changed all of it. We ended up throwing it all away, and we started making our deodorant from scratch. And so after about 2 months of not using any deodorant, regular over-the-counter deodorant, literally aluminum shavings was coming out of my armpits. And it was crazy. It scared me for a minute. And so when I went back and saw him again, I was like, hey, is this normal? He's like, you know, some people who really are sensitive to it, their body will push it out of them. And he was like, yo, that's a good thing. Keep going. What you're doing is keep going. And so I really went on the deep end of getting rid of heavy metals and certain chemicals out of my lifestyle. And so from there, I started doing heavy metal detoxes, doing celery juices for like 30 days every morning, all these different things. And so fast forward to where I am now, the reason why I sweat so much is because I don't have all of these blockages in my body anymore. And really think about this. If it's supposed to stop you from sweating and you're putting directly on your skin, which is our largest organ, you're blocking your organ from being able to function properly. And they don't tell us this. And the way they shame us in these commercials, like you'll see these commercials where a woman's in a business meeting or she sees a guy that she like and then has a little armpit stain. Or you see this guy, he's like going for this big interview, or he sees the woman that he likes and then he's like self-conscious because, do I smell or am I sweating all over the place? And this stuff is so far from the truth, yo. Like, we have to quit falling for these marketing campaigns that is just giving us, that we're just giving our dollars away for stuff that's killing us. And it's sad. And for me, as someone who's on the other side of that now and don't fall for that, like when I look at it, it really disgusts me because we're literally paying for the health that we don't want to have anymore. And it takes very small things to change our actual lifestyle. And it was really fun over the weekend, yesterday, if you'll be seeing the videos put up shortly, going to the marketplace out there in Greenside and meeting people that was into Ayurvedic, people who's been changing their health through their eating lifestyle, people that's into gut health, like all the things that I'm really deep into and that I really strongly believe in. And so before I leave, I want to actually show you, so in case you're here in South Africa, what type of deodorant you can buy here. And also I'm going to leave you with just a quick, simple recipe of some ingredients that you can use to make your own deodorant too. So now I actually buy this from Wellness Warehouse. This is what I get. It's a natural deodorant with Ylang Ylang. Ylang Ylang is really good for your chakras and things like that. And it's a real good mood lifter. So that's why I use that one. And you can either buy your own deodorant or you can make your own. Now, when I said like I used to make my own, all I used to do was use 3 ingredients. And this is so funny. I would take coconut oil. Now, if you buy coconut oil, you want to get the unrefined, unfiltered. You don't want it heated or anything. It's the raw coconut oil. And the reason why you want that is because it has antimicrobial, antibacterial, and also antifungal and antiviral properties. So with those properties, it's going to help keeping you staying fresh longer, and it's going to make sure you don't have any type of odor or anything like that. And now, the other thing you want to mix with it is baking soda. Yes, just regular baking soda. And so you want to mix, do a 1-to-1 ratio. I think how I used to do it, I used to make big batches. I was making like half a cup of coconut oil with half a cup of baking soda. And then I would throw in my essential oil of choice. Now, don't use an essential oil that's going to burn, something like a mint or spearmint. Go with something like a frankincense, ylang ylang, or you can use, what's another good one? Lemon. Good lemon or any citrus that you can find. Now, this is where it's going to give you a nice smelling scent, because most of us have been programmed to, we need to smell something so we don't feel like we smell bad. And so, with the coconut oil and baking soda mix, that will last all day. Now, if you're an athlete or if you're going to the gym or something, you may need to use it twice a day, but it's very simple. You can just keep it in your fridge where it can stay as a solid, or you can even get these type of bottles where you can fill it up yourself and you just pour it all in there, mix it up, shake it up, and then it's good to go. And so that's just a simple way to start detoxing your body. And honestly, it just came to me yesterday when someone was asking me, it's like, hey, are you okay, man? And I was like, yeah, I'm great. Like, and he was like, oh, you're sweating a lot. And so that's what gave me inspiration for this video today. There's so much stuff that I do and that I've done when it comes to my health. Like, sometimes I forget, like, yo, you're weird, Jason. Like, the average ordinary person don't know all this stuff because you spent so much of your life dedicated to changing your health. And so I just wanted to share this with you. If you tried this out before, if you have a recipe for your own homemade deodorant, just leave it here in the bottom of the comment and leave it down below at the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. And make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you like seeing this type of information, and share this with someone who may be looking for some alternative things to do all naturally.